So, one thing to point out, first time in four-wheel drive, actually in four-wheel drive low. I'm up in Boulder County near Nederland, Colorado, and I'm off-roading and I'm feeling pretty proud of myself. Got the dog with me, one of the dogs. And over there is a Toyota Matrix that made it up here probably no problem. My goodness. Well, hey everyone, exciting times with the Jeep today. I actually started off with a clip from last weekend where I went off-roading, and of course there's a Toyota Matrix, probably two-wheel drive at the top of a trail. Always hilarious to be feeling awesome and then see something like that. But exciting stuff. Tuffy security console came in. I got the 8-inch one non-stereos. I've got my stereo in the dash. And I got the Spice armrest, which I'd actually call more of a kind of a saddle brown. It's darker than the seats. But funny enough, my desktop top and my desktop seats don't necessarily match each other either. So I've got just multiple shades of brown that I'm here for it. It's pretty nice. It's quite large inside. Got a little small thing there. Pretty deep. Goes full size. 2 cup holders, which is key for the Jeep. And I put the blanks in, but for another like 40 bucks, you can buy cup holders for the rear. I'm not too worried about that. I mean, I'm not gonna be storing cash in there, but for throwing, you can stuff a jacket in there, honestly, or some nice sunglasses or paper for work for the Jeep, stuff that you don't want to get just grabbed, but somebody have to put some work into it. And from that off-roading bit, I got a little bit of mud on the Jeep for the first time. And there's spots everywhere. I was bleeding the brakes and I kept kicking over the little bottle. That always happens. Bunch over here, but I changed this caliper. I don't know if the caliper or the actual line itself was leaking. The line was new, but it might not have been as tight as I wanted it. So I'll slide that down. So new caliper, but I kept the rotors and pads. I'm gonna do those as a set later. They're okay for right now. And I've got the doors on. Pretty proud of these doors. They're off a 1995 YJ, and they came with the diamond plate, all new seals, window fuzzies. I bought new paddle handles. They were starting to rust a little bit, and I got these on Amazon for like 30 bucks. I think they look pretty good. You can tell they're the YJ because they've got the bolts for both holes for the door mounted mirrors. And I actually have a set of door mounted mirrors. I might put them on for the winter. Bought the cheapest little handles you could, but I'm happy with them. And I haven't put the screw in yet, but got my window crank, and it has new regulators. Pretty good for what it is. And I need a new driver's side striker. It's a little wonky, but it does okay. You gotta give it some oomph. And I've got the full top on finally too. Put the back window in. Pretty happy with that. And funny enough, you can see there is some gaps. I mean, it's not too bad. It doesn't touch perfectly, but it keeps the wind out. And if you're driving in the rain, it keeps that out. I do have a gap right here. And I could probably fix some of that with a ratchet strap and pulling the windshield closer to the roll bar, but I'm not too worried about it now. It lives in my garage and I just pull it out when it's nice. Passenger side door, it closes better, but this was kind of banged up. I think it might have gotten dropped. It's got a ding right there. It's got some dings here, and the hinges on the door are actually pretty bent. I don't know if you can see it, it bends out this way, and so it rubs onto the body. So thankfully I've still got more paint. I'll touch that up, but yeah, they're not perfect, but the whole point of this is you stand 10 feet back and it looks pretty good. But yeah, I'm gonna put the center console in today. And I think one thing I want to do with the rear suspension is I pull the leaf out of every pack when I put this together. I didn't want the 3 to 4 inches of lift the BDS system came with. There's my 1/2 inch lift shackles, and these were 2.5 inch springs. And I've got a pretty lightweight Jeep. I don't have a hard top. I don't have winch bumpers. I don't have big swing out tire carriers or big huge tire hanging off the back. So I probably would have netted over 4, so I pulled it apart a little bit. But I think I'm gonna pull one of the, for the rear, pull a leaf out of the 2 original packs. I'll get the leaf that'll go right here, and hopefully I'll get another inch in the back. My driveway's at an angle, but it always just feels like the rear end's just settled a little bit more. It looks like it's got a rake, and I'd rather be level or back end up a little bit. So yeah, update in a few minutes of putting the console in. All right, got the floor prepped and the seatbelt receiver moved. I originally had it here because I didn't realize that this tunnel is off center in the Jeep. It's kind of hard to tell unless you measure, take a good look. But I had to move it over, so good old Amazon had rubber floor plugs that fit perfectly, so I just plugged the hole like it had always been there. And it's gonna get covered up with the center console. But click the seat back, lines up perfectly now. Actually, that guy's a little off, but I think it'll be fine. They're gonna be held in place by the console. And gonna be something here. Let's get it mocked in place. Oh man, that's quite nice. More of a saddle brown than the seats, but I still really like it. I'm glad I got that one. Oh, so it's gonna be just so nice to have cup holders. I probably could have gotten the 10-inch. This is the 8, but I think this is gonna be great. It's got a little spot to put your cell phone if I'm not using the RAM mount. Here we go. Let's see it from the back too. Not too intrusive for the back seat. It does actually sit over to the driver's side just a hair because of that same little hump, but I'm gonna leave it. I think that's fine. And I don't know if I'm gonna do the straps for the seat belt. I feel like that's more for the pre-80 ones that have the just lap belts, but I've got the 3-point belts, and those things stand up on their own. All right, 3 bolts and she's in. Alrighty, she is bolted in. That's on there pretty good. I'm actually not going to use the straps. I'm not too worried about these little holes on the side. These guys, the seat belts stand up fine. Click it back. Boom, there she is. Opens up. I mean, little bit of movement. There's actually only 1 bolt there in the middle and 2 in the back. Vice grips are still there. And if it rattles too much, I can put some screws through, but ooh, that's a good sound. But here's the biggest thing I'm excited for. Empty Coke bottle, but I have cup holders in the Jeep. Can finally go to Starbucks and get me a coffee and have a place to put it. Same thing with the cell phone holder. It makes it feel like a real car. And I don't know if you can see, hop on the passenger side, but pretty good spot for an armrest. I'm not too worried about the color. It's gonna be nice to have a place to put your elbow. Could be up a little bit, but I think it's gonna be fine. Oh, well, I've got the vacuum out. I guess I'll vacuum out the floorboards. And only little weird thing about it. Let's crawl underneath. I ended up having to space the bolts. They're all a little bit too long, and the threads didn't go all the way. Same thing with that guy right there. So I just used some old greasy hardware I had in the garage. But I'm not too worried about it. I think it's gonna be fine. I mean, there's my seatbelt bolts and there's my seat bolts sticking through. Still pretty clean under here. even going off-roading it. I'm glad I put in the effort to paint the bottom body color. I think it looks good. Shocks are getting dirty though. But what I've got going on is, I think you can see it right there. Yep, drip from the transfer case. That's a pretty good one. And the rear main seal leaks. So I was able to fix the valve cover leak, which was a pretty huge one, but there's still other little leaks here and there. And it does have a new oil pan gasket, which is probably leaking a little bit anyway, but it's one of those things. Rear main seal and oil pan gasket is a full day, and I'll get to it. I'm not in a rush right now. And I mean, it still looks good under here. A little bit of mud I can just rinse off. Extra long fender bolts. Nice new gas tank. But yeah, got a locking center console and cup holders. I'm pretty excited.